Support for the Idaho Matters podcast is brought to you in part by University of Idaho, Idaho's only Carnegie R1 classified research university. Our Carnegie R1 designation recognizes the discoveries we make that help our forests thrive. It means we're creating more doctors and doing real research to strengthen cybersecurity for Idaho businesses, our energy sector, and every Idahoan. More at go.uidaho.edu/Idaho-is-Idaho.
Boise State Public Radio and Duck Club Entertainment present the Charlie Hunter Trio.
Charlie Hunter Trio, everybody.
Wednesday, March 18th at the Shrine Social Club in Boise. Blending jazz, funk, blues, and rock, Hunter is a guitarist, producer, and bandleader who will present his unique finger-picking technique on custom hybrid guitars. Tickets are available now at theduckclub.com.
From the studios of Boise State Public Radio, more Idaho Matters right now. I'm Gemma Gaudet. This weekend, Idahoans are heading to the Capitol steps to celebrate Idaho Women's Day. The event is honoring past trailblazers and today's leaders whose courage, creativity, and innovation are leaving a mark on our state. Joining us now to talk more about this year's event is Sandy Tregarthen. She is co-president of Southwest Idaho chapter of NOW. Sandy, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me, Gemma. I'm so happy to be here.
So, Sandy, for folks that might not be familiar with it, what is Idaho Women's Day?
So, Idaho Women's Day was established by our legislature back in 2020, and it really was to mark the 100th anniversary of a women's right to vote being added to our Constitution. And the date of March 14th was specifically chosen because it was back in that first Idaho legislature session back in 1891 when Idaho adopted its state seal. I don't know if you know this, but we're the only state that has a seal that was designed by a woman. And it shows a man and a woman on equal footing. So this date was chosen to commemorate that seal being adopted.
And Idaho's Women's Day, my understanding is that it emphasizes unity rather than becoming political. But in a time when so many conversations feel really divided, politically in particular, I mean, what does it mean to intentionally create a space that's centered around shared values and community?
I just can't think of anything more important at this time. Our event is so proudly nonpartisan. We are really here to celebrate women's strength, resilience, creativity, leadership, and community. And I don't think we can argue with those points. Women have played very large roles in our state, both historically, currently, and we will in the future. So what a great opportunity to highlight some of those women. And we're doing it in a really varied way this year. I'm very excited about our speakers, but I'm also very excited about some of the artists that we have presenting at our event.
So you mentioned March 14th. And as you said, it commemorates our state adopting our state seal. And as you said, designed by a woman, Emma Edwards Green. So Sandy, why is that moment in history so significant in your opinion?
Yeah, I don't know if you know, but Idaho has a history of feminism. It really does. This idea of men and women on equal footing, and the seal shows that. It's from the beginning, right? From our very first round of legislators. But also, we were one of the first states in the nation to offer women the right to vote, and that was back in 1896. And by 1898, we had women elected into our legislature. So we have this history, and it's so powerful to bring that to light and share it. So I'm really proud that in 2020, this day was established and that we get to celebrate it in perpetuity. So our local chapter of National Organization for Women get to put on this event and highlight the importance of women.
When you think about the women who shaped Idaho's history and those who are shaping Idaho's future right now, do you see threads connecting their experiences across generations? And if so, what do you think those are?
Boy. I mean, the first image in my mind that I go to is the statue out in front of our state capitol. I believe it
Hmm.
was put up there in 2022 of the shoes, right? The women sort of walking in each
Hmm.
other's
Yeah.
shoes. That's what I don't think any of us could have the success we have now. So, for example, we have one of our speakers this year is Anna Sparrow, and she's a business leader, but her success built on the success of the women that came before her, right? And who took roles of leadership. So there are absolutely threads that pull through from the early days of Idaho back in the late 1800s to now, and they'll continue to pull through as women step up as leaders.
Well, what's it like to have this day officially recognized in the state?
You know, I think we do great work all the time, and it's so valuable to have a day where we actually pause and name it and say, wow, we can
Hmm.
appreciate something that's in front of us all the time and that works well all the time. And that's part of why we celebrate birthdays or anniversaries. So how beautiful to have a day that for us in Idaho, because we just had International Women's Day was last Sunday, I believe. Here we have a special day for us in Idaho to celebrate the women that matter here. And that means your mother, your sister, you, Gemma, everyone who has a woman in their life, we can look at them and thank them and appreciate them. And we can do it in small ways and we can do it in big ways. And I love that chance to pause and appreciate those people around us, because I think sometimes we get so busy that we forget to do it.
Well, I try to remind my sons every day that they should be celebrating the main woman in their life.
Right.
Sometimes they remember, but in all seriousness, now though, I mean, it is important for us to remember the history, right, and to remember what women have and are still giving to this state. So the celebration takes place on Saturday at the Capitol steps. What can attendees expect, and what time does it start?
So this is we're think I keep saying that I'm excited because I am so excited. So
Yeah.
this year's special because the day is always on the 14th of March. But this year that happens to be a Saturday. And so far it looks like the weather is going to be pretty enjoyable. So what our attendees can expect is for the first hour, starting from noon to 1, we are going to have a variety of musical performances. That's going to include the Boise Women's Choir, Michelle Coleman, Patricia Daly, Rebecca Scott. So we have some really great voices that will be singing on the steps of the Capitol. Um, and at 1 o'clock, we will have a brief performance by a group that's near and dear to my heart. We call them the Super Troopers. You may have seen the purple umbrellas during a pride parade, but we'll have a brief umbrella drill team performance that opens our presentation. And then from 1 to 2, we'll have a few speakers who will come and talk to us. We have Muffy Davis, who many of your listeners probably know is a
Hmm.
7-time Paralympic medalist and world champion, and also formerly an Idaho state representative. We have Anna Spurrell, as I mentioned, who's a Boise native, but also a business leader and the vice president of CM Company. And Raham Ardi is, you've probably seen her work around town. She's a really prolific Arab American mosaic artist, activist, and author, and mother of 2. So they're going to speak about their experiences and their courage, strength, resilience, and might. And then from 2 to 3, and really it's from 12 to 3, we'll have an artist fair. So while you're hearing the speeches, you could be browsing through artist booths and checking out their wares.
Well, I want to thank you so much for taking time to talk with us about this. And what a great event it will be, especially on Saturday as well. It'll be at the Capitol. So we've been talking with Sandy Tregarthen. She's co-president of Southwest Idaho chapter of NOW. We've been discussing the upcoming Idaho Women's Day celebration. It will be this Saturday, March 14th, beginning at noon on the Capitol steps in Boise. And thanks so much for listening to Idaho Matters from Boise State Public Radio. Do you have thoughts about today's episode? Make sure you email us at idahomatters@boisestate.edu or reach out on our socials. And if this episode meant something to you, text it to a friend.